This is the July meeting of the ANC 1E's Zoning and Economic Development Committee. We reviewed the BZA cases, as well as any liquor licenses and ABCA licenses for the community, which include both liquor and marijuana dispensaries. But we don't have any marijuana dispensaries or liquor licenses tonight. We just have a BZA case. So we'll just get right into it. Mr. Suleiman, I think.
Patrick, how are you?
Tony, he's having some hearing difficulties, just so you're aware.
Yeah.
Mr. Suleiman, welcome.
Thank you.
No problem. You want to go ahead and I assume you probably have a presentation or something you want to share and just walk us through your case, what you're trying to do, and we'll give you some feedback.
Sure. And my name is Samir. This is Agra's my uncle. I'm just going to help him with the IT and I guess make sure with his English and everything. Here, let me share the screen. So basically, the existing project is to enclose this porch space into a two-story addition. So this main floor that highlight here, as well as this upper floor, will reach out to the same, just enclosing this entire space to make it part of the home. Agra, you can walk through.
Yeah, because the reason I need this space, my family members is a little grown up, and the kitchen and the bathroom, it is very narrow. It is not functionable right now. If I don't do it, one person, if it's the kitchen, we cannot open the fridge. It's very narrow space, and the bathroom the same thing. And that's the reason I just want to expand to get more room for the kitchen and the bathroom. And that's all.
Yeah, so the existing work would cover the addition would basically cover the existing porch, which would maintain the 70% lot occupancy that it's currently applied to it. And I guess here's the special exception that we're basically applying through BZA to basically add a two-story rear addition over that space. There are, let's see, the architectural diagrams here. I think Augusto, the architect, can maybe walk through those if you guys have questions about those details. But I mean, that's pretty much the whole premise.
We don't use any extra space from the backyard. So we just want to close the porch only, the existing porch only. Nothing, we don't use any spaces on the lot.
So if I read, while you had the document up, if I read the two areas for the special exception that you need are to use 70% of the lot, which is allowed with a special exception. You're currently covering 70% of the lot when you count the covered porch. And then the rear yard setback, it is probably, you have less than 20 feet in the back. Is that why that was required? I believe that's
yeah, that's why it's required, but the rear yard is also not changing.
You're just enclosing what is now a porch area.
Yes.
And you're going on the first and the second story. You're not you're not going higher than 2 stories.
No, just only the 2 stories.
Gotcha. Well, that's a pretty straightforward case. Have you spoken to the neighbors on either side of you, and what have they said about the project?
Yeah,
They support me. They give me a letter. It's attached on the file.
so we got neighbors on both sides. Mark Shield has.
Yeah, but actually, I didn't touch their wall because it's on my property. But they support me. They give me the supporting letter. I have it in on the file.
Great. So you have a letter in the file already from neighbors on both sides.
Yes.
Very good. Patrick, I
And-
know you're having, it's just, and gentlemen, if you weren't here to hear this, Patrick is having some difficulty hearing tonight. So Patrick, if you can hear me, did you have any questions or thoughts? Maybe not. All right, I'll go to Tony. Tony, anything that you see or have a question about?
Looks good to me. Or did they say anything about the single member district?
So this is, yeah, so this is in Rashida Brown's area.
Yeah.
Mr. Suleiman, I believe I had seen some email traffic between you and Rashida Brown. She's the SMD commissioner. Have you spoken to her directly about any of this?
Yeah, so we reached out to her initially, and she's the one who told us about this ANC process. We presented last time actually before we
go to
before we
BZA.
go to BZA, and then I think you guys said to basically you have to go through that process first, and then talk to you guys, and so that's what we've I guess done now.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I mean, Rashida, has Rashida actually seen these plans, or have you only just shared emails?
Yeah, so
look at
she's seen the original. I'm not sure if she's seen this post BZA one.
All right.
I'd have to go through the emails that we've sent basically to see.
Okay. It might not be, I mean, I'll double check with her. She just got back. She was out of the country there for a little while. So not a bad idea to reach out to her one more time just to make sure. But again, as you're kind of hearing, this case is pretty straightforward, and I can't imagine that there's going to be a lot of questions, especially since you do have support from both neighbors. I don't know if the BZA will ask about shadows, given that you're not going up, but that is usually one of the things that they talk about. And I don't know if your architect is able to if they asked, I'm just warning you this, if they asked for a shadow study to show where the shadows are going to fall with the addition, that sometimes comes up. I'm just putting it out there for you, but I don't particularly have a question about it because you're not going higher, if that makes sense.
There is one more thing that I'd like to add, which
Sure.
is this sort of addition is being done already in the neighborhood in a similar situation. So I just wanted to point that out to you.
Not a problem.
Okay.
Gosh, I really can't think of anything else that you're going to get asked about. So the way we would normally do this is if we think this is going to be fine, we'll make the recommendation to the ANC that they go ahead and support this. We do have a meeting coming up here at the end of the month. They're on Wednesdays as well, where we have to do an actual vote from the full ANC to support our recommendation that this be supported. So we do have to do that. But other than that, we would not necessarily ask you to present at that meeting. I'll simply walk through, what we discussed and what the issues were, and then, the commissioners may have some questions, but it should be pretty straightforward, if that helps.
Sounds good.
Okay. And then we'll send a report, and then following that meeting, I would just send in a report with the outcome to the BZA. And when are you currently scheduled to have your hearing?
September 11th.
September 11th. So yeah, plenty of time for us to get that into the file. Again, Patrick, I'm sorry if you're not hearing well. Any thoughts or questions from you? Okay. I'll just say that I think and Tony, disagree with me if you disagree, but I think we can say this one is going to get support and leave it at that and let Mr. Suleiman go for the evening. Did you have any ending thoughts?
I have no objections. I'm
Okay.
good. Yeah.
Very good. All right, gentlemen. That's how we're going to handle it. We'll let the ANC know that we have the meeting. I'll follow up with Rashida as well, just to make sure that she knows that this case is going to be on the agenda at the next meeting here in 2 weeks. We'll recommend that we give you a letter of support, and it probably could not be a more straightforward case. So thanks for the work you've done so far.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks to you. Thanks to you.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Bye.
Good night. Good night.
Good
Tony,
night.
do you have anything that you needed?
No, I'm good. That's good.
All right. And Patrick, the one thing I did want to say, we did get something from Howard on the campus plan. Have you seen anything on the campus plan changes yet? I'll follow up with you separately. Put this in the chat.
Michael, I couldn't hear a single thing that anybody said. I am so at a disadvantage here. I don't know whether you need to or did vote or what you're up with. But would you just send me an email and kind of give me the heads up as to whether or not you want me to weigh in on it? And if you give me the case number, I'll look it over online. I couldn't hear a word anybody was saying, so.
No problem.
If
We
you
appreciate
need
you
me to
trying.
weigh in
We appreciate
positive or
you
not,
trying, Patrick.
yeah.
Yeah. Good luck with your appointment. Tony,
You can
thanks for
also
coming.
send me the thing about because we did have a meeting about the campus plan, and I have not, because of what's going on now, I have not had any further conversations with them, but there was a CAC meeting that I did a debrief on and talked with the whole Howard group on how to move forward with that. It seems to be, based on the conversation that I had then, it still seems to be a little bit of hiccup with the LaJoy people. So I don't think we have an issue with that ANC 1E, but they got to get their act together and figure out what they're doing and then decide. So at this point, my understanding is that the university has put forth their application, so it's in process. I don't know whether you have the case number, but I can give that to you now. It's 24-1. And it's probably not going to happen until probably September or October anyway. So we got some time.
Thank you.
Tony, just so you know,
Yeah.
I've lost my hearing, so I can't hear anything.
I heard
And
it.
I told Michael I signed on just to see if I was able to at least participate, but I'm totally useless here, flying blind, so to speak. So send me that stuff and I'll look it over and then I'll get back to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, for everyone else, it was a quick one. That was a pretty straightforward case. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to me at 1E03@anc.dc.gov. But other than that, I'll say goodnight and thank you all for your participation. Bye.